Stamp letters of credit, often referred to as a SBLC, is one of the most desirable banking instruments for vision-driven entrepreneurs. A lot of business owners around the world are craving access to SBLCs because you can leverage these banking instruments to get a loan at 4 times multiples. You can leverage these instruments to go into something called private placement programs. And I don't want to say get unlimited amount of capital, but you can get a lot of capital for project financing requirements. If you can get an SBLC, you can do so many things other than getting collateral and going to private placement program. You can even lease it and make money while you sleep. So if banking instruments, or specifically SBLC, is such a desirable instrument, why is that so people are getting it wrong? Why are so people having such a hard time accessing stamp letters of credit? In this video, I'm going to be interviewing a banker behind the scenes who issues SBLCs. I'm going to ask her about the challenges and risks she faces every single day. If you are a vision-driven entrepreneur and you know all the doors that an SBLC can unlock for you and for the things you want to accomplish for project financing requirements, you've got to watch this. Hey everybody, my name is Taimour Zaman from All Funds Global, previously known as LandedCredit.ai. Our vision for our YouTube channel is to decommoditize banking products and services that have been in existence for over 70 years. Whether it's how do you monetize the SBLC, DLC, how to go into private placement programs, like we are decommoditizing products, services that have exclusively been available for the high net worth individuals, for Fortune 50 companies, and we want to make these programs available to the small business owner that's trying to hustle every day so that they can take advantage of these products and services that have been in existence for over 70 years. I really believe that a lot of bank executives graduate from some Ivy school, start a career on the 44th floor, get promoted and go to a 77th floor, and when times like COVID hits or when inflation hits or whatever happens, instead of making access to funding available, they make it harder to get it. And really, in partnership with over 300 brokers around the world, my team and I every day want to reach out to entrepreneurs that want to create meaningful change in the world. Products and services that have been available from a lot of the Fortune, like some of the biggest banks, Fortune 500 companies that offer instruments like that, so that we can really help that entrepreneur to create meaningful change. This is a video that really speaks to me. It's a lady who is just a phenomenal lady who issues stamp letters of credit. She presses a button, SBLC gets issued. So opportunity for me to showcase some of the bankers, some of the people we have a relationship with, and I really want you to watch it, take a lot of notes, because I know what a desirable instrument SBLC is. I know how hard it is for people to trust who real issuers are, who the fakers are, and I think this is just a fantastic opportunity for you guys to see what happens behind the scenes. My name is Taimour Zaman from All Funds Global. My team and I look forward to the opportunity of serving you. You've got to watch this video now. Okay, great. So Sandra, you work for a financial institution. I'm not going to name the financial institution, nor am I going to mention your last name, if that's okay.
Okay.
You are a SBLC issuer. I'm just going to say it that way. Tell me about SBLCs. Tell me the challenges you face in your role. What is it you see? What are some things mistakes that people do? What's the lowest face value of an instrument? And if Sarah here, who's my assistant, knocked on you there tomorrow, assuming you don't know me and you don't know Sarah, and we wanted you to issue SBLC, what would be the procedure to do that?
Okay, you will have to send us an application. We will check the application and make sure that everything is in order. There is a lot of things that you cannot put in a standby, but they have, you have to make sure that it's not an old-fashioned transaction. But normally when you send us something, we check that everything is in order, that doesn't have any kind of language that could be detrimental to the bank. You can issue an LC from $1 to millions, depending on your credit line with the bank. So all we check at the beginning is to make sure that everything is in order, that the language that is used is going to be acceptable for the bank, You could issue it for whatever you want. You could always send us what you need in the LC, and we could always reconstruct it to whatever we need to be able to provide you with that service.
Got it. And then Sandra, I'm not going to use the name of your financial institution, your bank, or your background or anything like that, which I really appreciate. You've been in this industry for how many, I don't want to say gazillions of years, but how many years?
I started in my early 20s and I'm in my mid 50s.
Got
So I've done in banking, when I started in letter of credit, I started in collections.
Oh boy,
So
that's not a fun department. They started you right from the bottom of the...
I started from the bottom all the way to collection reimbursement. Then I did imports, then I did exports. Then I was a team leader in one of the banks that I worked. Then I went from team leader, I wanted to learn standby. So I went to another bank. They gave me the opportunity to learn the standby. And that's the highest you can go.
Amazing. So I have to, let's say, Sarah, I want to go back to Sarah here. Sarah wants to get a standby of credit. First thing she has to do is become a client of the bank.
Exactly.
That takes, I'm going to say 72 hours. And you're going to do due diligence on Sarah, no problem. Then she says, I want you to issue a standby of credit to Taimour Zaman. She has to pay what to you? She has to pay the process.
In every bank, they have different departments. For order to you to get approval, you have to go to the front office, which are the people that really sell the product. When you're talking to me, it's because you already have done all of that.
Yeah.
And you have approval in the bank. So when I get it, all I do is, like you say, I will be in the back office. That means I will do whatever you want me to do as long as it's according to our rules.
Yeah.
But she has to go to the front office. The front office will open your line. Then there's have a middle office. So all I do was the end. For order to me to do your letter of credit, I would just verify that you have the funds. I will verify that you have the correct language.
Can you say a little bit about the correct language?
We have an ISP98 and I think it's a UCP 600. Those are the rules of us issuing. We can't have any kind of language that is not within those rules. Like we can have any OFAC, we can have any kind of language. There will be an AML. We can just send to every country. We have the anti-boycott language. So we check that all of those things are in order before we issue a letter of credit. Yeah. I have to tell you, there is some banks that do a little bit more and have a little bit more lenient rules. But most of the banks, they follow the ISP98 and they follow the UCP 600. When I started, it was 400, so now it's 600. We all doing what we do when we issue a standby letter of credit is to make sure that the bank doesn't have, that letter of credit doesn't have anything that could make us liable.
We are very new with the SBLC process. What we are going through right now with a lot of our customers, an option of paying out to us. We had only a blur knowledge of what SBLC is and whatever Google has shown us. But after talking to you, discussing with you, we have come to know exactly how SBLC works and what are the best possible ways of making or getting more, how can we leverage more on that SBLC.
And it's just been an amazing experience, you know, working with Taimour. He's been the first time that I connected with him.
Thank you.
I have this really deep connection, you know, with you, Taimour. And
as I mentioned about, we are an investment banking firm based out of Mumbai, and it was a great pleasure to discuss in detail all the possibilities and opportunities which we can do as a cross-borders, different projects and programs which we are talking about. And I think a lot of insights, a lot of inputs you had given as a free hands to us, and we are really looking forward to collaborate and work together with you.